race number 5 of Season 9 of the NASCAR Mobil1 Cup Series. Yes, it is a little different. Seth Cole here in the broadcast studio to bring you this race. Due to personal reasons, Levi McIntyre unable to bring you the rest of the season for Mobil 1, and so I just said to him that I would take it over and finish the season out due to the fact that I've been able to get pretty far ahead in NNSCRA Cup Series races, so it's giving me a little bit more time. Just going to let you guys know ahead of time, though, it's not going to be all the flourishes and starting grids and stuff that I've done, the fancy stuff for NNSCRA Cup, basically because based on the fact that I just barely do have enough time to be able to do this series, continue this series on as well, there's not going to be all those fancy things done just due to time consideration. So also you'll have to bear with me getting into this thing on new drivers and stuff because I've not run this series yet. So let's get the command first.
Drivers, start your engines.
So as these cars are going to roll off, we're going to be showing you the very fancy starting grid on the left side of your screen. And Daniel Gilbert is going to start on the pole position. Daniel Gilbert coming into this race 39th in points, and the guy starting alongside of him, Matthew Dallio, comes in 38th in points. So two drivers who really are struggling in the standings, really could use a good run here today, and maybe with track position they can get it. Jessica Shelton, Jacob Lawler rolling off in row 2, Joshua Collard, Kyle Corbett in row 3, rest of the top 10, James McLeod, Gene Sanford, Sean Henley, and Ty Dent. Our points leader, Austin Mongold, actually going to have to do a bit of work here today. Mongold going to be rolling off from the 35th position. Comes in with a 5-point lead over Austin LaPlante. And the rest of the top 10 in the points coming into this race, rookie Brendan Berg, Ty Dent, Joshua Collard, Cody Lamas, Sean Galligan, Gene Sanford, Danny Wells, our winner from last week at Atlanta, and then Kyle Corbett completing the top 10. So it's going to be an interesting battle, no doubt, here at Charlotte. This is a track where they can go 3 wide. It's better to go 3 wide in turns 1 and 2. They can hold it out of 2. Out of 4, though, the car that's on the high side can get kind of squirrely, get up into the outside wall, and then if he comes down to traffic, we have this D-shaped front straightaway, and it doesn't take long for a lot of drivers to get piled up in a big mess on the front straightaway. But here we go. 25 laps of racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Green flag is out, and Gilbert, he got a great jump there, and he's going to easily clear Matthew Dallio, and he's going to go to the point. Now between some Tweenix racing drivers back there, Sean Henley going 3 wide with James McLeod. Gene Sanford caught on the high side of that exchange. That could be a little testy if we get over here into a 3-wide situation heading into 4. Matthew Dallio gets a nice run there into 3. He goes to the inside looking to get the lead away from the 25 of Daniel Gilbert. And I got to look back here because this is awfully hairy. We got Charles Jackson back here, Anthony McCurry. Oh, one car through the grass. That was the 4 car of William Bedford. Looks like he held on to it, though. Bob Jones there. He's holding up Chris Washer, Daytona winner. And there's Lewis Stevens in the 62 as well. These guys all got held up, but I don't think anybody wrecked. Oh, Joshua Collard clips the 14 of Ty Dent, and how did they keep it together? I don't know. Connor Breton was through the grass. We're still somehow green. Collard in the 43. Ty Dent in the 14, they got together. Dent got up into the wall, and somehow we're still racing. But now they're 3 by 3, about 3 rows deep here. This is trouble. They're not going to hang on to this. Jessica Shelton gets turned. Charles Jackson collected. Cody Lamas is in it, pole sitter Daniel Gilbert, and here they come plowing in. Oh my goodness, the 18 is up on top of the 25, literally. And now comes flying down after the 20 disappeared. Oh my goodness, that was insane. Charles Jackson's on pit road. Steve Pollard, the 60 car, is on pit road. That is Austin LaPlante. Momo Akari's on the pit lane. Kyle Matthews is on pit road. I think that may be James Silverfox there. That is. Sean Henley is the leader under this caution. Who else was in this wreck, though? There's Ty Dent in the 14. Escaped a wreck earlier on, but gets involved in this one. Dylan Poteet may have some damage. Lewis Stevens got damage on the hood. Connor Breton badly mangled. Same for Chris Washer. Damage on the Jeff Fair machine. 40th in points. This has not been a good start to the season for him. Both the Dent brothers involved. TJ's got damage. David Rivera involved. There's the points leader, Austin Mongold. He's got some left side damage. And oh, there's Chris Louvier running the green One Main Financial colors this week. He's in trouble. Oh, Carson Gum in the 77's on pit road. There's Matthew Dallio on pit road. Dylan Young, and I believe that's the 18. Brendan Bergs completed a pit stop there. Clay Rogers in the 18. He's the one that flew up on top. I think it was of either the 9 of Shelton or the 20 of Corbett. It was one or the other. We will definitely be looking at a replay of this. Just trying to tally everybody that was involved. There may have... I don't know if Danny Wells got involved or not. He may have gotten through. I think the one of Megan Atkins did. Alex may have some damage. Also maybe some damage on the Pioneer Chevrolet of James McLeod. Look at the rear of his machine. Yeah, I think he got some of that incident. Jessica Shelton's still running. She's in 9th. She's got rear end damage. Left side damage for Sean Galligan. Cody Lamas, I know, got a piece of it. He's still running, though, as well. So the caution flag is out for the first time here at Charlotte. Sean Henley is the current leader. Leaders did not make pit stops. It's Henley, Qualls, McCrory, and Corbett. That is the top 5 with Jacob Lawler in 5th. As we're going to take a look at a replay of what puts under the caution for the first time here at Charlotte. Let's take a look off this corner. Yeah, the 9 of Shelton was way wide on the racetrack. Going to get the wall and then gets a tap from behind. I think that might have been by Matthew Dallio. Comes down and collects Charles Jackson and Cody Lamas. And that Jackson's going to slide up the track. I told you, this D-shaped front straightaway is what causes a lot of trouble if an incident happens out of 4. Daniel Gilbert, the pole sitter, absolutely nowhere to go as he just ran straight into Charles Jackson. Nice avoidance there by the 2 to get to that inside line and avoid. And then this is where things get really, really bad. Watch right here. Everything is separated because of some incidents. And there you see Momo Akari just never stopped. Just plowed right into the back of Clay Rogers. And look at how Clay Rogers' car is going to come to rest right on the hood, or not on the hood, but on the roof of Daniel Gilbert Chevrolet. Look at that. I've never seen that before in my life. I mean, I've seen cars on top of one another, but I've never seen one like that. Oh, Cody Lamas got hit from behind by Dylan Young, and then Chris Louvier plows the Chick-fil-A Chevrolet. Chris Maley, nice job of avoiding there. There's Carson Gum getting a piece of it. I think you're going to see Alex May get involved there. Connor Breton got into the back of Matthew Dallio, and you see Austin Mongold, the pole sitter, or points leader rather, just came to a dead stop. Oh, Megan Atkins did get a piece of that in the 1, or is that Ricky Falcon? I got to relearn these names. Yeah, it's Ricky Falcon in the 1. Got it in the back of Jeff Fair. So you just, you know, and there you see the 15 up there against the wall, that of TJ Dent. But, you know, the big problem was that everybody was just so spaced out. Drivers had hit the wall earlier and been able to save it, but it really kind of separated the entire field. So when that wreck happened in the lead pack, the second and third packs didn't know what was going on. There was a smoke screen, and they just came piling in. And that's, I think, why we saw the 18 go flying like he did up on top of the 25. But that was insane right there. That's one of the first times I've ever seen a car actually go right side up on top of another car and basically just stay there. But big pile up. We'll document all the drivers that were involved and are out of the race as a result of this as we go back to green. So as we get ready to go back to green flag racing, James Silverfox lines up a lap down on the inside line, currently in the 29th position. I believe he could possibly be up to speed, though. We'll see if he can get by Sean Henley, maybe get a quick caution. Henley's the leader. James Qualls is second. Third is Anthony McCurry. Fourth, Kyle Corbett. Fifth is Jacob Lawler. Sixth, Nick Smith. Seventh place is going to be Dylan Thoreau. Cody Lamas in eighth. Ninth, Sean Galligan. And Jessica Shelton will complete the top 10. Watching the 64, 6, and 9 on this restart. Galligan and Shelton appear to be up to speed. Cody Lamas, though, I think he may be a little bit off the pace. They're going to split the lap machine of James Silverfox, and James Quall is going to go to the point. Anthony McCurry going to move into second. Jacob Lawler now looking to move in there to the third position underneath of Sean Henley, who's been kind of caught now on the high side. As we're going to be under a little bit of a green flag run here, let's document the drivers that are out of the race. Matthew Dallio started on the front row. So too did Daniel Gilbert on the pole. They're out of the race. 30th for Matthew Dallio, 32nd for Daniel Gilbert. So their tough season continues. Charles Jackson going to finish 31st here today. Came in 12th in points, was trying to get into the top 10. Momo Akari, 33rd today. Also out of the race are Dylan Young, Chris Louvier, Connor Breton, Chris Washer, Ty Dent, Steve Pollard, Kyle Matthews. That's a big hit right there for the 7 team. Never really even talked about him today. Also, Bob Jones out of the race, along with William Bedford. So that's really going to hurt a couple of drivers in the point standings too. Right now, though, from what I'm seeing, nobody in the top 10 in points is out of the race. They're all still running, although we do know Cody Lamas is off the pace. Brendan Berg is running without a hood. And it's questionable just how much damage was sustained on the 16, the points leader, Austin Mongold. Right now, though, it is all James Qualls up in front. The battle's been raging on for second. Right now, Dylan Thoreau has it. Sean Henley wants it. Kyle Corbett right there. Nick Smith, Jacob Lawler, and Anthony McCrory. As it's a 7-car tussle up here at the front. Gene Sanford just now clearing, I believe that's the lap car of James Silverfox. Currently running in the 8th position. Sean Gallagher right now is in 9th. And now Trent Dunham runs in the 10th position. There's Collard, a winner from Texas a couple weeks ago. He's 5th in points and run right now in 11th. Jessica Shelton still very well up to speed, running in the 12th position. And right behind her, there's the points leader, Austin Mongold, right now in the 13th position. TJ Dent there, along with Ricky Falcon, Lewis Stevens, and Danny Wells there as well, 9th in points. These guys have a bit of work to do to catch up here to this lead pack. 3 wide well, I thought that was for second. It's for second. Oh, no! Clay Rogers and Carson Gum going to hold up these guys. Oh, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a big problem. They got to clear these guys. These guys are on the tail end of the lead lap, the 18 and the 77. And Lawler's going to get the clean path through. McCrory gets through. Sanford gets through. Galligan going to get through as well. They're going to move into the top 4. And that's going to help bring Sean Galligan and Gene Sanford right up to this pack. As a matter of fact, Gene Sanford is now up in the top 4 because of this. Qualls still trying to find a way around the 18 of Clay Rogers. These two are racing for position of Clay Rogers and Carson Gum, but it's holding up these lead lap cars. They got to split them 3 wide somehow, and now it's really made it a 4-car race up here at the front. Lawler, McCrory, Gene Sanford, and Sean Galligan, all of whom have yet to go to victory lane here in Mobil1 Cup Series this season. Jacob Lawler, a former Snickers Cup Series champion. Gene Sanford, a former winner in the Truck Series. Wait, am I right on that? Seems like I remember Gene Sanford winning a Truck Series race. Sean Galligan, former Mobil1 Cup Series champion, and actually Anthony McCrory, his last Snickers Cup Series win of his career came here at this very track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. But they have opened up a great distance between themselves and this still problem, this congestion back here. Now finally they're going to make way for some cars to get through. Henley gets by, Nick Smith gets by, Trent Dunham gets by, but still James Qualls finding no luck getting by these two. Something's got to give. Something is going to have to give here. Ricky Falcon now going to move by. Danny Wells going to move through. Lewis Stevens trying to do the same as they still are 3 wide. Oh, they're almost 4 wide back there. Chris Maley thinking about 4 wide underneath Jessica Shelton. They are 4 wide here at Charlotte. Oh, Maley on the apron, and there they go! Thoreau up into the catch fence. Carson Gum into the catch fence. Qualls collected as well as TJ Dent. And oh no, look out! Oh! Austin LaPlante just hit one of those drivers that I think might have been the Carson Gum machine. Someone else is spinning. That's Cody Lamas. And the caution flag is out. Oh my goodness, that was certainly not what was needed. I mean, for certain, those drivers needed to get out of the way, but that really was not the end result. These drivers were looking for. Qualls is on the pit lane. So too is LaPlante. His teammate Lamas, Chris Maley, Carson Gum, TJ Dent coming down pit road smoking. There may be some tempers flaring after this. I think Clay Rogers and Carson Gum may have some explaining to do after this one. Oh my goodness. I mean, they literally ran double wide with each other. Yes, it was for position, but you had leaders on the lead lap behind you. They completely blockaded them for a good maybe 3, 4, 5 laps. You just don't do that. Well, Jacob Lawler is going to be the leader now. And I believe those drivers that were just wrecking were actually not too far ahead of these leaders, so it's a wonder we didn't see these leaders get involved in it as well. But James Qualls, that is a heartbreak right there for him. I mean, Qualls was up there in the top 5 for a good portion of this race, got held up behind those guys, lost hand over fist positions, and then he gets involved in that wreck after Chris Maley, our winner from Rockingham UK, decides to make it 4 wide and goes on the apron in turn number 1. That just is not going to work here at Charlotte. We'll take a look at a replay of it in just a moment. I believe pit road's going to be open this time, though. I don't know if these drivers are going to have to pit here today or not. They may be able to make it the full 25 laps on fuel, but just in case they do come to pit road, we do want to document it here live. Doesn't look like Lawler, nor McCurry, nor Sanford, nor Galligan. There doesn't look like any of them are indicating that they're going to be making a pit stop here. And that's indeed the case. They're all going to stay out. So we will now go back and look at a replay of what put us under the caution here for only our second time today, but certainly an unnecessary caution if you ask me. I'm telling you, the guy I feel the worst for here is James Qualls. Held up behind that 18 car for about 3 or 4 laps when he, at the time when they encountered them, was the leader. But look here, look at the 22. Down there and on the apron, there's no grip down there. There's no way he's not going to slide back up the track. And there you see he gets into Jessica Shelton. And Shelton had no choice. It's not like Shelton intentionally turned James Qualls. I mean, Chris Maley's into her. Where's she going to go? And then Qualls comes up into Carson Gunn. Look at Dylan Thoreau, another driver who was having a great run here today. He goes up into the catch fence, flips over onto his roof, and begins to barrel roll down the banking. TJ Den had just caught up with these guys, crunched up hood and all. He was running well. There's just a whole sequence of stupidity really there on the part of first the 18 and the 77 to hold up these leaders, and then the 22 to try and make it 4 wide down there on the apron. And here comes the shot right there for Cody Lamas into Chris Maley. He actually goes up, collects Dylan Poteet, and there you see Austin LaPlante hits the upside down machine of Carson Gum. And Brendan Berg moving on through there, and I think Dylan Poteet was able to get through. He might have made a little contact with the machine, the rear of the 6 of Cody Lamas. But man, this one's going to have some huge points implications, this wreck right here, because you ended up having involved in this one a driver that came into this race 6th in points in Cody Lamas, and then another driver, a former winner this season, who came in 11th in the standings, that of course being Chris Maley. So I don't know how this is going to impact the point standings as far as the top 10, but it could very well play a big factor in what the top 10 is going to look like heading into next week. Well, lights are out top. Pace car will go back green. It will be a total of 4 laps to go, and it will be a single file restart with no lap traffic to contend with because it's less than 10 to go. Jacob Lawler will be the leader. Anthony McCurry lines up in second. Dead last in points, by the way. Third on the running order is going to be Jean Sanford, looking for her first win. Then you got Sean Galligan in 4th. 5th place is Sean Henley. Nick Smith runs in 6th, 7th place Trent Dunham. Ricky Falcon is up to 8th, 9th is Danny Wells, and Lewis Stevens completes top 10. Then it's Jeff Fair in 11th, 12th is the points that are Austin Mongol. Clay Rogers is actually a lap down, right now running in 19th. 13th place is David Rivera with no hood. How is he doing that? I don't know. James Silverfox a lap down in 20th. Kyle Corbett right now is in 14th. Jessica Shelton 15th. Alex May 16th. James McLeod 17th. 18th is Dylan Poteet. 21st a lap down is Brendan Berg, and running 22nd also a lap down is Dylan Thoreau. So we have 22 cars on the racetrack, and we have 11 on the lead lap. Apologize for that, folks. So 18 cars on the lead lap as we're back green here at Charlotte. 4 laps to go. If the caution comes out, we will be finishing this race under yellow. Gene Sanford very quickly moving underneath Anthony McCurry, moving into the 2nd position. Now going to try and run down Jacob Lawler. Lawler comes into this race 27th in the point standings. And if memory serves me correctly, this is the one series that Lawler really seems to struggle in. This is one series he does not seem to really shine as much as he does in trucks and Snickers. Anthony McCurry now right back to the bottom on Gene Sanford. He'll move back to the second position as wow, they almost thought about 4 wide there off of 2. Nick Smith getting a heck of a run on that high side. They were 3 wide between Sanford, Galligan, and Henley. Henley and Galligan still kind of almost rubbing doors there. As it will be 2 to go this time. Oh, Nick Smith gets the wall. He hangs on to it though, and here comes Trent Dunham up here into the mix. There's a lot of former champions right there. Henley, Galligan, and Trent Dunham all wadded up as McCurry is trying to run down Jacob Lawler with a little more than 1 lap remaining in this race. Henley closing up on Gene Sanford. That could be a battle for the 3rd position. White flag displayed this time. Can Lawler hold off McCurry for 1 more lap? Henley now moving underneath Gene Sanford. That is for the 3rd position. Points leader Austin Mongold going for position back there. That I think I was for the 7th position off of Nick Smith. Down the back straightaway, McCurry still holding a car length behind Jacob Lawler. Will he make a run here into 3 and 4? Jacob Lawler running that middle groove. He'll hold off McCurry, and Jacob Lawler is going to pick up his first win of the season. He wins here today at Charlotte. I think the big key there for Jacob Lawler on that restart was the fact that there was a battle that went on for the 2nd position very early on. That kind of helped him to be able to get a little bit of distance between himself and everybody else, and that made it very pressured on Anthony McCurry to try and reel in the 41, let alone try and pass him for the lead and possibly the win here today. So Jacob Lawler, a great win for him here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We now have 5 different winners in the first 5 races of the season here in Mobil 1. So Lawler with the victory. Great run for McCurry though. Dead last in points. This will help move him up in the standings as he'll finish 2nd. 3rd for Sean Henley. 4th place could be Gene Sanford and Sean Galligan in 5th. Galligan, by the way, was involved in that pile-up on the front straightaway, that point when Shelton got the wall and Jackson and all of them were involved, so keep that in mind. So great comeback finish for him. Trent Dunham, great run in 6th. Nick Smith's going to get 7th here today. 8th place is going to be the points leader Austin Mongold, who I believe is going to keep the points lead heading next week due to the fact that none of the other drivers, with the exception of Sean Galligan and Gene Sanford, who were both, I believe, 29 points back, they were the only ones that really finished ahead of Mongold. So Mongold, I think, will keep the points lead. 9th place will be Danny Wells, and Kyle Corbett is going to complete the top 10 here today. Just take a look at the rest of your finishing results here. A couple of drivers who really did a good job of just, hanging into it to get at least a top 20. Jessica Shelton in 16th, James McLeod in 17th, and Dylan Poteet in 18th. All 3 of those drivers were pretty badly damaged, and they managed to be able to finish inside the top 20 on the lead lap. James Silverfox there in 19th, a lap down. Also a lap down in 20th, Brendan Berg. Dylan Thoreau up in the catch fence, but he was able to at least finish the race in the 21st position, a lap down. And Clay Rogers, who we saw actually up on top of the 25 of Daniel Gilbert after the first wreck. He's going to finish a lap down in 22nd. Everybody else finished out of the race. Joshua Collard was actually out of the race in 23rd. Cody Lamas in 24th. Austin LaPlante 25th. The heartbreak for me of this race was James Qualls finishing out of the race there in the 26th position. As you take a look at the rest of your finishing results here, all the way down to Kyle Matthews, Bob Jones, and William Bedford. So, after this race, we could have a bit of a point shakeup heading into next week. I think you'll see Galligan, Sanford, Danny Wells, Kyle Corbett maybe move up in the points. We may end up seeing drivers like LaPlante, Ty Dent, Joshua Collard, and Cody Lamas maybe fall in the point standings. But I think the thing that's going to remain constant heading into next week is going to be we will still have the points leader being the rookie Austin Mongold. Hope you guys enjoyed this Mobil1 Cup Series race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. Here comes your point standings heading into next week's race as you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. See you guys next week.